The world's largest cruise ship is set for its maiden voyage on Saturday, but environmental groups are concerned that the liquefied natural gas-powered vessel and other giant cruise liners to follow will leak harmful methane into the atmosphere. Royal Caribbean International's Icon of the Seas sets sail from Miami with capacity for 8,000 passengers across 20 decks, taking advantage of the surging popularity of cruises. The ship is built to run on liquefied natural gas, or LNG, which burns more cleanly than traditional marine fuel, but poses greater risks for methane emissions.
So obviously the technology on a new cruise ship keeps evolving, and we as a company are on a continuous journey with all kind of technology. Everything from what you see up in the accommodation, what the guest will see, from cabin automation in terms of ventilation and the light system that we have on board, all the way down to the technical area and the machinery area, where we are the first big cruise ship in the Royal International brand, where we have LNG as our main fuel source, which is quite exciting for us on board to take part of that journey with the new technology.
Environmental groups say methane leakage from the ship's engines is an unacceptable risk to the climate because of its short-term harmful effects.
Using LNG is one way to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that their ships are emitting. But when you actually look at the implications for the climate, it's actually a step in the wrong direction.
In terms of warming effects, methane is 80 times worse over 20 years than carbon dioxide, making cutting those emissions key to holding down global temperature warming.
When people criticize LNG as a marine fuel, many of the critics sort of suggest, perhaps a little bit disingenuously, that this is a sort of fatal flaw. And I think it's far from it. We have to look at things in a little bit of context here. And certainly when LNG fueled engines were first introduced, and these were the low pressure four strokes which the cruise sector uses, they were introduced to address local emissions.
Cruise ships like Icon of the Seas use low-pressure, dual-fuel engines that leak methane into the atmosphere during the combustion process, known as methane slip, according to industry experts. There are two other engines used on bulk carriers or container ships that emit less methane, but they are too tall to fit in a cruise ship. Royal Caribbean says its new ship is 24% more efficient when it comes to carbon emissions than required by global shipping regulator, the International Maritime Organization.
Methane is coming under more scrutiny. We had the International Maritime Organization, which regulates shipping around the world, come together and over the summer announce their greenhouse gas reduction strategy. It does explicitly include reducing methane emissions, which is wonderful that we're naming it. And it kind of puts the brakes on all of these LNG buildouts. Hopefully the Icon of the Sea will be one of the last LNG ships, because methane fracking, these are not climate solutions.
Of the 54 ships on order from January 2024 to December 2028, 63% are expected to be powered by LNG, according to the Cruise Line International Association. Currently, about 6% of the 300 cruise ships sailing are fueled by LNG. Newer cruise ships are being designed to run on traditional marine gas oil, LNG, or alternatives like bio-LNG that only account for a fraction of U.S. fuel consumption. Royal Caribbean will use different fuels as the market evolves, said Nick Rose, the company's vice president of environmental, social, and governance.